Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is another Asian version of Doritos. This one is in their late night line. And I think they have done like late night tacos or something like that in America. This one is, you probably can't tell, but it is from Taiwan. And I like that breaking the O like that with that slash. That's cool. This is American hot wings. And for most of us, we're going, so what? Wow, they're Frank's Red Hot chips, right? Ooh, hot wings, ooh. And normally I would say that was the case, and I actually put these off for quite a while because of that. And then I got to look, and I came across he's actually in the wild at a world market. And so I'm looking through the ingredients because I thought I saw somewhere along the lines someone was calling these hot. And we go, okay. So there's pepper. It's probably cayenne, New Orleans spices, whatever that means. And we go, And then there's this. Pepper extract. And we go, okay. Huh. And then we see another one that says pepper extract. And we go, okay. And then we see chili pepper. And at the bottom, we see chili pepper extract. So that got me thinking. Maybe, certainly Asian countries are not shy about stepping on heat with extract. So for me personally, I consider it kind of a cheat. I would never, like if I was a chef, I just wouldn't do that. And because to me it's a cheat. I would much rather have the natural chilies, kind of be the star of it. And that's, maybe that's a foodie thing. It probably is a foodie thing, but that's just my viewpoint. And not everybody has that sort of conviction to things. Mostly it's because I think that extract almost always tastes like hot metal ass. And I don't want that in my mouth because to me, it's not really, it's more of just a straight chemical than it is an actual food. So for me, I don't like it, but their thought, I'm sure, is much more in a direct line. They're like, oh, you want something hot? Fine, here you go. You can have, this is all the heat you could want. And, they just kind of leave it at that. And I don't know, maybe they're not as focused on just the flavor of things, or they feel like whoever's asking for that doesn't care about flavor as much as they just want to have their face melted. Which is fine. I'm not saying any one way or another is better or worse, but that's kind of just my read on it. And for me, like extract, if you look through the blog, there's hundreds of sauces I've covered on the blog. There is very few of them that have extracts because in the very beginning of the blog, I did them a little bit more often, but then I came to the point with one of the old Zach Wild Berserker sauces where I went, I'm not doing another one of these with extract unless there's a pressing reason to do it. Some of them have been on the Hot Ones show. Before Heatness, I think really, really, really got involved and went, no, we want all natural stuff. Kudos to them for that. But so outside of something like that where it's, a special circumstance, I guess, I tend to eschew the extract sauces. I don't avoid them as completely as I do sauces with onions because I just dislike the extract. Onions actually make me sick, but the whole Korean spicy chicken craze is all predicated basically on extract heat. And then they try to have strong flavors to kind of mask it. So certainly I'm not unfamiliar with extract, but using it in snack foods is kind of interesting. I'm really curious to see what they did with this. And this might wind up being something that, somebody's just out there selling bullshit saying that these are actually legitimately hot, but we're going to find out. So let's, usual Asian snack thing. Just stuff it full of air so it can't expand anymore. Man, I don't know if I can open this like this. I think my gloves are compromising things. I'll do it that way. Whatever they use to seal these bags, I'll tell you, snacks from Asia are definitely they're not playing around with stuff. And if they're shipping them overseas, I mean, it works. It's very effective. They come relatively intact. I wonder if this is the actual shape of them. No way. Look at this. This is the shape. They're all in this shape. This sort of lightning bolt thing. Get out of here. Look. Do you see? That? They're all Zeus's lightning bolt. Wow. That is cool. Okay. All right. Well, hell's bells. Let's just get on into it then. I wonder if all the late night have that lightning thing. So there is a chicken flavor to this. Not what I would call really a hot wing though. It is more like almost like a chicken stew, chicken gumbo. What do you mean by American hot wings? I mean, I like Taiwan. Certainly it shares a lot of cuisine and stuff with China. Mainland China. It's a very interesting take on these. We're going to go for a burn and see. Right now I'm not getting any heat at all. So I just, here. You see there's a plate of wings there with a side of some sort of dressing and celery sticks. So clearly they're trying to imply a sort of cayenne style wing. That's what they look like here. Although actually these are entire wing sections. It's not drummies and flats. It is like the whole piece together with the tip and all. I think Hooters used to do wings like that actually also. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been to one of those for well, I haven't had one around for probably 10 years, so it's been at least that long, but even before that I never really went there that much. I was not ever a fan of the food. And that's why I go to restaurants. I mean, I like eye candy, as well as the next swinging dick, but when I go to a restaurant, I want to have actual good food. And they, in my view, just don't really have that there. It's like they had a really cynical, I feel kind of chauvinistic sort of aspect to what they thought would appeal to dudes. And it might appeal to some dudes, but it was certainly not backed up by food or anything like that. And I mean, to me, there was a feel of something fake, something almost plasticky about the entire thing. It's just not for me, just not my situation. I think there's a place called Twin Peaks that does something similar, only with slightly better food. Well, these are super interesting because most of the time, when you get something that's buffalo wings or something like that, you get the cayenne sauce and sometimes the dressing will give you the flavoring. For this one, it's more like they wanted to get the chicken flavoring in there. These are wild. I'm just getting the barest pinprick of heat now as well. Well, you know, that's the thing, right? You never know, because like the Lay's Max, the ghost pepper chips I did, when I had actual peppers in it, those were an absolute delight. I think they're the same company, right? This is Frito-Lay, yeah. Also curious, you know, the potato chips have from Asia have a sort of silky texture to them. Every potato chip from Asia, texture-wise, is vastly superior to any potato chip from America. And I thought, okay, well, does that also apply to Doritos? But these are essentially the same. I do get a kick out of this shape here, but I'm actually struggling to give these a default one. I'll probably give them a 0. But if you do want, if your main complaint about hot wing snacks is that you can't get the flavor of chicken enough, you know, get these. This is such a weird amalgamation of flavors. So, you know, Lay's will do their potato chips, and it'll be interesting to see how close they get to some of the actual flavors, like a Cubano, for instance. You know, they do those wacky potato chip flavors every year. And Doritos does some of those as well, but I think Doritos has a much harder time getting to the purported flavor than does the Lay's potato chips. I'm not sure why. Well, I think these were interesting. Like, they were certainly not what I was expecting flavor-wise, but I don't know how you can reasonably call this American hot wings either. It certainly isn't. Whatever it is, it's not that. There's a slight pass at the dressing that's on the wings in this picture, which looks to be sort of a cayenne sauce, and the dressing, which I'm assuming is blue cheese. There is a slight passing reference to that in these flavor notes, but combined with the whole kind of chicken soup nature of it, like a gumbo, not like a chicken noodle soup, you know, like more like something Maybe that's what the New Orleans flavors are meant to be. Alright. So, wherever I came across the information that these were hot is 100% false. There is no heat to be had in these, particularly. Even with the extracts. Flavor-wise, I will say they weren't unenjoyable. There's the ringing endorsement. These were not entirely horrible. Which I realize is, damning it with very faint praise, but it's a thrill of experimentation, right? I like to have snacks from Asia and other countries as well, because I don't quite know what to expect, because there's not a lot of one-to-one analogs over here in America. We have our very own sort of distinctive, and I think in a lot of ways distilled snack flavors that we're used to. And I am, above all else, a food adventurer. So definitely it was worth the journey. There is, I mean, for me, it's not hot at all. There is a very, very slight tingling on my tongue, I guess. But not enough for me even to call it a default one. So as far as heat, this is as complete of a miss as possible. The flavor I did find to be really, really interesting. I don't eat snack foods, honestly, ever, unless I'm filming this these days. Filming a video for the series here. So me saying I probably wouldn't get these again, well, I mean, that also applies to every other snack out there. I did find them at least somewhat enjoyable. I mean, obviously just ate the entire bag in front of you, but to me, I think this is more a snack you get if you're interested in the takes of people in other countries towards snack foods rather than a spicy snack for sure. I think that's more where this would fit in, but I mean, I guess it was still worth doing. Taiwan, to my knowledge, is not really known as a hotbed of heat. That's these days more Korea and some places in Japan. As far as that part of the world is concerned, maybe Thailand as well. So Thailand, Japan, and Korea, South Korea specifically. So, but the extracts I thought were worth at least taking a swing at, and not everything's going to be a hit. Not everything's going to be hot. What do you got to do? But so flavor-wise, like I said, it was solid. I'll give it a solid in terms of flavor. Nice change of pace. Again, more just of interest on the food adventure front. Heat, it is non-existent as far as I'm concerned, and we'll just shut down the experiment there. So that was the Doritos Late Night American Hot Wings Chips. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.